The Urban and the Mystic is here to help you gift with intention. We've been featured on Oprah's Favorite Things list, in Vogue, Goop, House Beautiful, Forbes, and not to brag, but we're even my mom's favorite gifting company. We have gifts that help you show how much you care, to truly celebrate someone, and to even help someone heal. From the love bowl to the bereavement box, there is a gift for all of life's occasions. They're handmade, hand-packed, and even the gift notes are handwritten. Order the perfect gift today at theurbanandthemystic.com.
Welcome to Ask Dr. Louise. Keep following up. Are you navigating the dilemmas that addiction, aging, and mental health issues present? Ask Dr. Louise is the place to start. Life is often a series of hiccups, and while you might get knocked down, you always have the opportunity to fall up. Addictions and mental health issues are not a life sentence. There's always hope and strategic solutions for helping you become a better version of yourself, while impacting your loved ones with grace, compassion, and integrity. Join us as we navigate how to have those uncomfortable yet necessary conversations with yourself and your loved ones to take the actions needed to help you rise to be your best possible selves. Get ready to walk away with doable solutions. Ask Dr. Louise starts now.
Hello, everybody. I am so thrilled on this early California morning to be able to talk to Abdullah Boulad, who is the CEO and founder of the Balance Group, which is in Mallorca, in Zurich, and New York. And I have the good fortune of having actually been to Mallorca, seen all the wonderful work he is doing, and I want to share him with the world. Abdullah, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
Likewise, thank you so much for this very kind, nice introduction, Louise.
Well, why don't you, our listeners are always so curious about how behavioral health is carried on across the world, but why don't you first tell our public about yourself and how did you ever become involved and be such a master of behavioral health?
Yes, so everything for me has begun with a personal experience. This has been always throughout my life. Life happens to you, and then you make something out of it. And in my case, I had at some point in my life like a difficult series of incidences within health, within my family, my wife, my children, and effectively myself as well. I ended up in hospital with a heart attack. So this was like the starting moment where I dig deeper in health, mental health, particularly behavioral health, and was on my personal journey to find out what brought me into this and what can bring me out of it. And what can I do to prevent that to happen again? I was very eager to learn, very eager to understand what the mechanisms are, and this was my starting point.
So I have had the pleasure of visiting the Balance, but I think the world needs to know about it. But I also had the pleasure, and I hope that you'll talk a little bit about your book, which I have read with open arms and have tried to implement some of these many things in my own life. But tell us about the Balance.
Yes, so I started the Balance about 6 years ago with the idea to offer individualized services. I felt there has been a lack of individualized services targeting also a client group. Let's call them a bit more affluent, looking for more specialized, individualized offerings, entrepreneurs and families. I was eager to offer or to put as a package what I learned throughout my journey. So, and this was the starting point of the Balance. And started all with in Zurich. I grew up in Zurich in Switzerland, so my parents worked for the university hospital in Zurich, so I had always an affiliation to health and mental health. And so after leading other treatment centers in Switzerland and visiting also multiple places around the world, I felt it was lacking something, and this is why I started the balance. And I started with the first client, and eventually they become more and more, and word of mouth. And today we have multiple locations. And what I was very excited about, even though I'm passionate about Switzerland and Zurich and where I grew up, basically, I felt in love in a place, it's the island of Mallorca. And this happened because during my personal healing journey, I used to travel quite often to Argentina. And what I felt there is we went like 5-6 hours south of Buenos Aires. And when I reflect on what I experienced there are basically two things: the connection with nature and animals, and the other thing was the calmness, which affected definitely my nervous system, just feeling disconnected from what was triggering me at home. And then I thought, okay, Argentina might be a bit too far away for me from Switzerland. So what's the next big good thing I can do in Europe? And my family used to travel, my wife, myself, and we've been traveling a lot to Mallorca. And this is how I find a beautiful spot in Mallorca, and everything has started here as well. And today, this is our core offering, because we have the mountains, we have the beaches, we have the countryside, we have sunshine all year around, and the beautiful team I'm very proud about, with very compassionate and spiritual and clinical, but the most important part of it is that they live what they try to preach. It's not just a business, and I think that's something also you experienced here with us as well, Louise.
Yeah, what I love the most, and I've been all over the world, as you know, and spoken all over the world and worked with a lot of CEOs. What I came back and I said, and I know I said that in my writing, was you truly walk your talk. And there was one sentence that you shared with me that resonates in my heart that really attracted me. And that is, you talked about staff. And we know that behavioral health care is a business and people have to worry about, will there be clients, will there not? What you said was, my staff is my family, and they don't have to click in a time clock. They don't have to, I just trust that you'll know that they will perform. And you could see that in their eyes, in their spirit, in their laughter. There's some things you can you can have the most beautiful setting in the world. And God knows, I've been to some of the most beautiful settings in the world, and I've spoken at them. But to capture that joy and also that camaraderie, but also understanding that there was a job, but this is my family, was magnificent.
Yes. Yes, I'm very, very thankful, grateful for how you have seen this, and this was from the beginning my ultimate goal, that I create an environment I feel comfortable in, because in clinics or in other organizations before I was involved in, sometimes this was missing, and every interaction I have with the team, it has to be authentic and it has to be human first. And I care about everyone individually. They know the goals, they know where we are going to, so I don't need to tell them. If they make failures, I don't need to point out what failures they have done, but rather than try to have common understanding, okay, is this what we are doing supporting our goal? How can we do better in the future? And at the end, if something goes a little bit not as planned, it doesn't matter. On the long run, that's what counts. And the happiness within the team is, for me, much more important than short-term goals.
Beautiful. What do you see from your vantage point dealing with affluent persons across the world as the top 3 behavioral health problems, issues that they face? And what are the challenges for them?
Yes, most of them, let's say, there are multiple issues. So it's not just something you can point out. Very often they come with multiple issues. But let's say we have 2 categories. One category is the older generation, let's call it 40 to 70, 80. So they have achieved something in their life, but they are struggling with their positions, aging, the use of substances, medication, prescribed medication, particularly, or burnt out in their situation, or they have relationship problems. Or then you have the children of successful people, and the children of successful people can be also older ones. It's not just the young ones. So let's say next generations, and you know that better than me. So the next generations, they have maybe undergone more trauma than someone could say. You could even tell, okay, they are doing well. They have everything in the world. They can buy everything. They can be everywhere. They don't have to. But at the end, that's what makes them struggle as well. So self-esteem, loneliness, because also the pressure being in the public eye, so this is just some part, but we also see like eating problems, and then if the lack of self-esteem, lack of personal identity, then also like drugs come into play, cocaine and other substances. So just to name a few.
Yeah, and that becomes tough. I know that in the younger population I deal with now, whippets and cocaine are very popular ways of trying to cope. And what special things do you do for that younger generation? I know when I visited you, I love the fact that you have homes by the sea, as well as, will you share about your new facility, Cogniful and Census, with the public? I think they're very exciting.
Yes, happy to do so. So we started with the balance, like the treating one person at a time, developed this further, or because we felt some clients that can profit also from being together with others, but still need the individualized treatment approach we offer at the balance. And so we created a new brand we call Cogniful. It's a therapeutic community-based living, but still with a very individualized clinical treatment approach. However, we, besides being together with others, let's say in a small group, the setting where they are is also very crucial, and depends on the issues, depends on the age. In Mallorca, we have one facility on the countryside for Cogniful, and one facility on at the beach. And the beach house we have has multiple bedrooms. It's nice. There is a promenade. There is a beach. We do activities outside, and and especially with younger adults, let's say, we try to give them something, activities to do, a purpose they can do while they are with us. Also, we make it not just about sitting and talking and getting the treatment all day, but to be active, to use their hands, to be useful as well. So one client, we try to place them in different activities as well. One of our recent clients has been like helping out in a sea aquarium, as an example, because he likes there, or others like to be more involved with horses and horse stables. So we try to find something they like and they're passionate about, and do it as a group or do it individually as well. But the living may be supportive, but it can be also, in some cases, we feel the individualized care might be needed, or initially as a community, and then we combine more individualized care. So this is also a dynamic process. We develop with the families and see how things go.
That's beautiful. And do you use, you know, peer mentors or mentors for the younger ones to do, or even with the older population? Because sometimes if we have a mentor, it can change the trajectory, which is different than us clinicians, because it has a different connection. Someone else that's faced adversity, but that's on the other side, so they can relate. I mean, I think that works really well from my experience with younger adults.
Yes, I think that's a good thing. In our program, there is always one mentor we call a personal manager, in living together with our clients, and we choose this person to be like age-wise or topic-wise relatable to the client, so they can connect better and help better through the struggles, the issues they are in. I think mentorship is something beautiful. Yeah.
No, I love it, because obviously I held big, large, you don't know that about me, NIH and IAAA grants. And, you know, it is evidence-based. As much as I love the clinician, and I'm the clinician and the psychiatrist and everything, there is so much evidence out there that is so efficacious. And I love that you include that in your program. But I also know that, I mean, I wanted to stay. I really did want to leave Mallorca because I wanted to experience more of the balance, but also know it's pretty unique, because after I left, a ship captain called me, and he was in Morocco and he was worried about his wife. But you also have the ability, if someone wants to be out on a yacht, they can also get treatment. How does that work?
Yes, recently we opened also an outpatient hub in Palma. It's at Paseo Maritimo. This is the first sea line in Palma, and they can come by the boat and stop in front of our hub if they want. Or they can come in, or we can also send the therapist on boat. So we are experienced with that as well.
That sounds like a wonderful way if someone doesn't want to be confined. And also when you speak about nature, because I saw how beautiful the homes were out in the outskirts, but also the sea can be so healing. I know you have other outlets in Zurich and maybe New York. Can you share about those as well?
Yes, so we split our locations in residential treatment locations and in outpatient locations. In Zurich and in Mallorca, we are capable to offer residential treatment program and outpatient treatment program, both. In London and in New York, we currently mainly focus on outpatient services. We use that also as pre-assessments or for aftercare support for our clients.
Good. Well, when are you coming to
Yeah.
California? So I want you to be in California too. But I will ask you how people can find you and how they can, find the balance. But you wrote this beautiful book, Living a Life in Balance. I wonder if you could share with the audience maybe your top 3 things about it. And I think you're very humble of a gentleman, because I asked you to tell you about yourself, but what you didn't share is you're a young man from Lebanon whose family had to leave because of persecution, because of discrimination. And when you came to Zurich, it wasn't that they suddenly accepted Abdullah with open arms, because it was a different kind of setting. And so I think that, in terms of who you are and what you are, the fact that you too, I know, have overcome adversity and understand the nuances of culture is very, very beautiful.
Yes, yes, exactly. So if I need to tell you and summarize the book, I can talk for hours. So
No, I
I'm
know.
very
I
cautious
want
about
people
your
to buy
time.
the book and read it like I did.
Yes, but every experience in life, good or bad, without to name it, shape you what you are today. Truly believe that. So today I try not to judge about any experience happening to me. I'm much a calmer person. I'm much a balanced person today. And this is what I try to pass further with the people I speak to, whether employees or business partners or clients. They appreciate that about us. So it's nothing should shake you up. That's the way how I try to live and stay in balance. However, being in balance is another one-way street. It requires always a constant adjustment because of the life circumstances, and we cannot all be monks sitting and meditating all day to prevent anything happening from you. So because you miss out what life is about. So once you want to experience life, something will happen to you. And that's what happened to me as well. As a child, I couldn't choose what happens to me. As an adult, more with all my actions and decisions I made in my life. But you can call it trauma today, childhood trauma, possibly. I went through, and changing a country has also something significant. You don't speak the language and you're in a different culture. You need to adapt, adjust. You feel insecure as a child, certainly. But all that shaped my personality, shaped me in a way to feel more confident in within myself and accepting myself. It was a process in my young adulthood. I was seeking for, maybe in the initial phase with my personal limiting beliefs, for some acceptance, and I was working hard, studying hard and studying a lot, and I was always eager to achieve something. I never knew what is it until later in life you learn more and you turn inwards, and it's not just about collecting degrees and titles from outside. So yes, later I wrote this book also to give people, a guideline, a holistic guideline, I would call it, in what you can do to implement it into your life. Practical guideline, not so complicated, not too philosophical, and I give also experiences about myself, about what happened to me and how I used it, how I implemented. And I feel also living a life in balance, I mentioned, it requires constant adaptation and adjustment. But it has also, for me, it's like a pyramid. And it starts with how you treat your physical body first, with food, exercise, the right rest, and so on. Imagine if you have a bad sleep, this may affect your mental health, it affects your being present, how to you interact with others. This is where I feel the physical health comes first. So that should be your priority. And on top of that, you can go inwards, the mental health side. You try to understand, you need to understand who you are, what's your purpose, how your mind works and ticks, and all the little details. And once you understand yourself and you're kind of in balance within yourself, you can be the best version of yourself interacting with others, understanding interactions, being compassionate, and be there for others, to have meaningful connections and in your life. To understand also life is not about an egoistic way of living, but it's very crucial to be in a group. And coming from a Lebanese background, what I loved there is you have big family. As we speak, I have here family members visiting me from Switzerland in Mallorca. We are 16 people right now here.
I love it. I love it.
So I love to be with others, but I also love to be by myself. The right combination is crucial here. And last but not least, in my 4 dimensions, on the top of the pyramid, is more the spiritual side. So if you have the right balance within yourself, you manage your body health and your social interactions, the more spiritual side, the resilient side, the acceptance what happens to you, the ups and downs become much easier, because you are more grounded and you are not much affected anymore by how life treats you, but you become kind of an observer, and you enjoy life more, deeper. So in a summary.
I could listen to you for hours, and I know that the listenership is going to be so excited. Like, I'm really excited that I might get to see you at the Master Series in Oxford. I know that you will be presenting. I am excited that our paths can continually to cross, and I think we have about a minute left. I just want to thank you. And I'm going to let everybody know they just can go to your website. And one of the things I've learned about the balance is everybody is accessible and available. And I can't wait to learn about your next vision, what you'll be doing next. And is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners today?
I think the only thing is, in whatever situation someone is, not to be afraid to reach out to anyone to seek help, or to read about help, to learn more about what they can do. And other than that, thank you very much for taking the time, Louise, and inviting me on your show. I'm very excited and grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah, well, as I always say, that we have to all, and you do such a good job, keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring change, because you really do it so well. And I always end with my first book, Keep Falling Up, because it's so much.
Excellent.
Well, I look
Beautiful.
forward to us meeting again, and I thank you so much for signing up for Mallorca. And I know what it must be like to have 16 family members there, plus everything. So I would say seize the day and enjoy, and I look forward to more.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to see you too. Bye, Louise.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You have been listening to Ask Dr. Louise. Keep falling up. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 12:30 Pacific Time on Transformation Network for more fresh takes on addiction and mental health that help you and your loved ones to keep falling up. We navigate how to ask yourself tough questions and how to have those uncomfortable yet necessary conversations with your loved ones. Ask Dr. Louise helps you gain resources to take doable actions. For more on the most advanced health and wellness solutions, visit allaboutinterventions.com.
The Urban and the Mystic is a brand for lovers. Lovers of life, lovers of connection, lovers of love. We help you gift someone a feeling that lasts long after the first unboxing, and that is the real gift. Our line of offerings are chic, thoughtful, personalized, and there is something for everyone. This is modern gifting. Now go find your perfect gift at theurbanandthemystic.com today. No, really, go.